we're still having some issues with drop frames, so if we're just showing as not really anything at all, then welcome to our podcast. That's nice. We have a nice podcast. Basically,
Welcome to episode 4.
Yeah, welcome along to episode 4. We're going to drop the other videos that were up because, well, we can't fix the internet connection for some reason. Thank you very much for coming along. Quick recap on episode 3. We went to the port. We were looking for a ship. The Dark Mistress had already left. 3 of the party members decided to venture off in various different ways to get to the ship, leaving the bard behind to do some quality fishing. They ported to the ship, which was basically immediately attacked by sea elves after a long fought defeat. The captain of the ship was killed. It was revealed that he had a mechanical clockwork heart, which is quite important. The heart was retrieved along with the body, taken back to Bothan, and that's where we left off.
Yes.
So starting as a restudy thing, Kevin, please take it away.
So while at the Freeport Guard, the barracks, they inform Captain Jonah's family as well as the other sailors' families of what had happened. So they send messages out to the party. Despite their inability to save anyone, they've managed to end up keeping the clockwork heart that they found in the previous session. Sasha has hung on to this mechanical heart. Currently, they do not know what it is for. However, they know that it is one of 5 artifacts that they are meant to search out. As they are leaving the barracks, they are greeted by a courier who informs them that he has sighted Sir Eric Brighthammer making his way to the Freeport Library archives from the inn. There, the party have decided to head towards the inn to have a chat with this knight. Upon approaching the inn, they do see the knight's 2 squires outside taking care of the horse, and they are currently standing in front of the steps of the library archives.
And the count just walks straight past the squires.
The count walks past straight past squires. Squires do not attempt to stop you in any way. They do recognize you from an earlier encounter where you were talking to their master. However, they don't really seem to care or react. Yeah. Walking up to the the library. So in the previous session, the 2 that went to the library were, was it Urbag and Asha?
Asha,
Yeah. Reaching the front entrance, inside entrance of the library archives, the count faces one of the librarians, so one of the curators of the area. He initially seems shocked that the count has the count's character, because the count is currently wearing a white mask, and he asks the count, "How can I help you today, sir?"
Oh no, I'm fine. I'm just browsing.
He says the public library area is open to all, so you may browse at your leisure.
Okay. I'll go just wander around.
Right, so he's wandering around the library. Meanwhile, the 3 of you see the count has gone ahead.
Okay,
Your leader.
I tell Sasha, come with me. Okay. I go look for that disciple of Vori.
Yes.
Ask him, can we go back in the private section?
He recognizes you and he says, yes, you may indeed go back to the private section of the library. Currently, only you and Urbek are kind of allowed because the guy remembers you from today.
Hey, did you see a knight asking to go in there?
He says, why, yes. There is a knight who has been asking quite similar questions to what you've been asking. He was quite interested in the hourglass, and unfortunately he was dismayed that someone had checked out all the material regarding this. Sorry?
Is he still here?
Oh, the knight, he's still here, but he's in the public section of the library. He has not provided any sort of credentials or authority to access this private section.
Just like that guy that came in just now?
What, that guy, that strange guy with the mask?
Yeah, the phantom. That's what I'm going to call him.
It looks a bit dodgy.
Yeah. Don't let him in the private section.
Noted.
Actually, you should go get him out. He has like explosives on him. Real dangerous in the books.
Should he commit any sort of crime, the guard will be informed immediately,
So you're saying
and he will be.
he-
However, just because he's carrying something dangerous, many of people entering here carry many dangerous things such as wands and scrolls.
be careful about the explosive, the fire.
Many fire things have been carried through these steps. We have our security or preventive measures in the event of fire.
Just outside of character.
Yes.
That seems very responsible.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Outside of my character, that's really
Well, the thing is, aside from an
Inside my
actual search, yeah,
that's really
No, I mean the library policy to.
yeah.
Not check
But
for
they
all
don't,
game.
yeah, they don't, but they assume anyone who goes in there is,
It's not gonna
civilized,
burn anything down.
not gonna be scumbags and burn things down.
Alright, I'm just gonna the count's just gonna wander around the public section.
You wander around the public section, eventually you find Sir Eric. So the Count does encounter him and he's looking around, like he's kind of searching through the text, but he seems quite frustrated that he's not finding what he's looking for. He has not noticed you approach yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'll walk up to him and say,
He says, "Friend, Count of Saint Germain, what brings you here
Okay.
to the library?"
the Count kind of like just has a look of kind of smugness on his face that he was.
Well, he can't really tell because you're wearing a mask.
Yeah, but he has a look of the smugness on his face. That he-
Sure, is it?
anyway.
Why are you wearing that strange mask, Count?
That's not important. That's not important. After some information,
Yes.
what can you tell me about? You mentioned the other day, that you're looking for some artifacts.
He looks at you suspiciously and says, "Why have you taken an interest in my quest?"
Oh, just looking out for another.
Let us know when we show up looking
Yeah.
for him.
Well, have you asked the curator whether you're looking for this knight? Have you mentioned knight? Oh, because you've only asked for
Yeah, I
questions.
just asked it. I literally just asked
Oh, okay, well,
serious questions.
he tells you where the guy is,
Yeah.
like, he points you in the direction. Yes, you may finish your question, sorry.
Just trying to look after another fellow adventurer, and I feel like our quest might have some crossover. I feel like it might be related.
Alright, you may roll a diplomacy roll.
Oh no. Oh, 9.
9. He seems skeptical that your quest is of a nature that would cross over or overlap with his. He says, "Mine is of a holy quest, so I don't believe someone like you would have anything to do with it. However, if you do have any information, I would much appreciate it if you would enlighten me. Have you
No.
heard of any missing artifacts within the
No.
city?"
No, I don't have any information. Sorry, but just to be sure, can you tell me all about your quest, just to make sure there's no crossover with our one?
Ooh. I feel like that your diplomacy still carries.
He says, "I feel that this is a private matter between myself and the members of my order. I do not want to involve civilians within the dangers of my quest, because it is fairly dangerous."
Even though you can't see the look on the Count is just disgusted by being referred
Yes,
to.
he
as
cannot see.
civilian.
Yeah, he can. You cannot see, but he has not picked up on that you're disgusted.
I say I am more than a civilian. I am the Count of Saint Germain.
Yes, I agree. You may be nobility, but I do not know whether you are trained in the art of war.
Oh,
No, I don't know if you have what it takes to embark on the same quest. Besides, this is my nightly quest. It's on my honor, not someone else's. I would not dedicate my job to someone else.
okay. I don't think the Count's stupid enough to make a bomb in the library.
Nope.
But is he foolish enough to show off to do it? What's your wisdom?
I don't think he's that stupid. 9, but I don't think he's that stupid.
It is at that moment, Asher, Sasha, and Urbag arrive, and they see the Count having this heated discussion with Sir Eric.
Okay. You that Ufa Kel guy?
He looks at you and says, "Have we met?"
Probably not.
Then yes, I am of that order. I do not deny that I am of the order of Ufakel.
I'm here helping her, and I hear you're looking for some rocks.
Ah,
guys?
yes.
Good sir, before we continue this conversation,
Yes.
could we go somewhere more private?
He says, "Carry on. I will help you if perhaps you can help me as well. It seems, according to your leader, the Count, that you know more than
Meets the eyes.
meets the eye.
Indeed, we do.
Okay. He says lead on to the private area.
I try
you are choosing.
and shush you when you say that.
I have access to the private library over there. We can go there.
He says that would be much appreciated. He seems quite happy that you have access to the private section that he's been trying to get into. He says, yes, lady, if you were to take me into that private section, I would be much
Now,
appreciative.
when I mentioned that, I want to do a sense motive. Does he feel like? Do I feel like there might be him like having a sinister motive of really wanting to go in there?
You may indeed have a sense motive.
21.
21. The only motives you can tell now that he seems quite appreciative of your offer. He is suspicious of your offer. However, there does not seem to be any sinister motive beyond that.
Okay.
So he's suspicious in the sense that, why are you taking so much interest in his holy quest?
Okay.
Okay. You lead him towards the private section. The curator seems surprised that you're bringing in extra people, but because he knows that you have shown him credentials before, he's fine to just obviously he kind of gives you this look that don't let them ruin anything, because that is the expensive section of library.
We're just using a room.
Query.
Yes, her bag.
When we were there last and we were looking for books on the artifacts,
Yes.
and they were all taken. checked
No,
out.
only the specific artifact, the hourglass, was taken.
Oh.
However, you did not, at that point, you did not know what the other artifacts were. So you were looking through books and they were detailing the many artifacts that you could find in the world, but you did not know what specific thing to look out for.
Only the artifact ones will go. I mean, the
Yeah.
hourglass ones.
Because
will go.
very few were actually connected to the name The King in Yellow or Hester. So you didn't actually find it. However, now you have your hands on one artifact. You do know generally what it looks like. So you would know what to look out for.
Yeah, anyway.
Granted,
So-
we wouldn't be switching with him here.
Yeah,
Yes.
We're not that naive.
just a follow-up question.
Yes.
The books that were withdrawn from the library.
Yeah.
Were they from the private section?
They were indeed from the private section. And
So
they were all on the topic of something called the hourglass.
I was just checking because the paladin hasn't been in the private section.
Yeah, he has not been in the private section.
So you go.
He doesn't even look like a guy who would normally go into the library.
As we
Yeah.
go into a private library, sorry, private members only.
You don't have any authority here.
I have access in here. You don't buy.
What?
Close the door.
I would open the door. I would not let
Yeah, I don't want to be let in by you. Thank you, Sasha.
and then I close the door behind him.
So are we all going into a private room, are we?
So you can access a private room within the library, so it's one of those private
Private
reading
reading
rooms. Yeah.
So what I was going to suggest is that some of us enter that room and others do more research.
Yes. The Count doesn't care for the paladin anymore.
Yes, the Count is satisfied with his needs and
Alright,
walks away to do
Those that
research.
wish to do more research, you tell me a specific topic, and I'll roll to see whether you can find such a thing. Or if that thing doesn't exist, that particular piece of information, then I understand it doesn't exist. The ones that wish to talk to Sir Eric, you can also let me know.
I'll go and talk to Eric.
Okay?
I'll talk to that guy.
So there are two topics tonight.
I'm gonna go and research.
What is your topic?
I would look. I presume that Captain Jonah Kensington
Yes.
was born in Freeport.
He was actually not born in Freeport. His family is from outside of Freeport. But where they're from doesn't really matter for the context of the story. Just because I didn't think of an imaginary place yet.
It doesn't matter.
He's
because
a
it
man of
doesn't
the
yet
sea. He was
exist.
born on the sea.
Born on the sea,
Sure.
of the sea, by the sea.
By the
For the
sea.
sea.
For the
Well, I
sea.
was just trying to figure out because, like, he didn't know that he had.
Yes, he did not know. Yes.
So, how did it get there?
Magic man.
Presume-
Well, it's obviously he wasn't born with it.
Well,
Yeah.
was he?
Wow, was he?
I don't know.
As a bard, you happen to have a spell where you can rewrite memories so people don't remember things happening.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Are you the only one with that?
Are you the only one with that?
Uh-huh.
Suddenly
Ah.
everything's like, oh,
Ah,
bard understands
Magic.
this
No.
level of magic and how.
Magic
Can't-
can do anything.
damn magic.
Dirty
Why?
magic.
Why does? Okay.
It's like some people want to outlaw magic.
Okay, I'll let you and the count think about what you wish to look up or dig up on. Meanwhile, you can talk to Sir.
So we'll take him into the room. We'll
Yeah.
close the door behind us. I will introduce myself as Sasha Pandasar, daughter to the High Priestess, the
Hi. Yeah.
High Overseer
Yes, the High Overseer. Yeah.
of Solidarity,
Yes.
and devout Oracle of Sir Timot.
His religion check is quite high. He has heard the name of Timot and he knows that it is a good deity of sorts. He greets you in the following manner where he also follows like a lawful good type deity. So he is slightly more trusting of you if your words are true, of course. He does not seem to have any reason to doubt you because you gave him a chance to interview the guy in the asylum earlier.
I inform him that Timot himself has directly spoken to me
Yes.
and told me to help aid Eric in his quest.
He seems doubtful that you have direct conversation with your god.
He can seem doubtful.
He says, even I, Sir Eric, do not have direct discourse with my deity.
Just the voices in her head.
He says, you have mentioned or hinted that you do have some information of the quest that I am on. Perhaps we can help each other.
Yeah, someone else is looking for the artifact ahead of you.
And what is this artifact that you think that someone else is looking for?
The Hourglass?
There's a look of recognition in his eye. He says, yes, the hourglass. Have you heard do you know of its whereabouts?
No.
It
I just know
is-
someone's looking for it.
It's a very powerful and dangerous thing.
That is why we're here.
It is my quest to obtain this artifact and bring it back to my knightly order.
Alright,
I've
roll
been
it.
doing this for like a month.
I do a sense motive.
Yes.
Can I
27.
You can tell that he is genuine. He has indeed been searching for a month. You can also tell that he's been quite frustrated with his search. From his posture and the way that he's talking about it, it seems like he'd rather be out killing monsters and actually physically doing good rather than interviewing people and searching. So you can tell that he actually doesn't particularly enjoy, but
Okay.
it's a job. Like he's been given this task by his superiors, I
Okay.
guess, and he's doing it to the best of his ability.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what you can tell.
Someone checked out all the books on the Hourglass, like before you or me.
He swears under his breath and he says, "Why are there so many people aware of this artifact that I am after? It seems like I am being thwarted. It seems like I'm being thwarted and someone is cutting me off before I can make any progress.
Who else knows you're doing this quest?
My knightly order knows that I'm doing this quest, and I fear my enemies, well, the enemies of my order would also be out to stop me.
Probably have it. Maybe someone leaking information on your end.
Perhaps, or perhaps we are being watched." He looks around suspiciously in this room.
There's no Vox, whatever those guys are.
The Vox Mutatis, or the Dirty Golden Dawn.
Yeah, those guys.
Well, who knows where
But they're probably here looking for it. I
how
think they're
deeply ingrained they are into society.
I asked them, do you happen to know what this was? And I'll just use my arcane mark to throw in that symbol of Hester. Do you know what this is? Because
He looks at you and says, "Get that out of my face. That is the evil, the symbol that is, sorry, that symbolizes the evil that we are trying to fight."
I'll dismiss it and go, well, some wizard at the theater had this symbol on them when they caused that riot the other night.
Then great evil upon those who attended that show at the theater.
Great evil upon them?
Yeah, great evil upon them. For it is quite bad luck. Some would say a curse to view this symbol in its, like when it is presented in its original form, not when like you copy and make an image of it.
Yeah. Well, they're in town, so I don't know, maybe you should call for your friends to come help you look for them.
My order, well, the thing is, I currently do not have any leads on what to look for. So when I do, I will call upon these suitable aid that I can find for my nightly order.
Are you searching for just one artifact, or are you searching for all of the artifacts?
There is more. I've only been told to search for one singular artifact, the mighty hourglass.
When Mighty Timok spoke to me, he informed me that there are 5.
I read a book that said there was 5.
He looks quite concerned. 5 hourglasses, you mean?
No, 5
5
artifacts.
artifacts.
5 different artifacts. This is the first I've heard of it. He seems quite genuine. He says, I've only been told of the hourglass. I do not know what it does. However, I've been told to obtain it at any cost. Well, I will, any means necessary. Do not stand in my way should you discover the artifact, for I may have to be forced to take it from you as well, whether by force or otherwise.
Sasha cheekily laughs and says, "You could try, but we are here to help."
Well, we will see what kind of help you can provide.
What are your current leads?
Well, I was hoping to find out more information on the library because I've been told that these Freeport's library archives are quite extensive. However, now that you have told me that there are 5 artifacts, perhaps it would do me well to search out information on the other 4.
Here's one we prepared earlier.
Do you have any other questions we want to ask?
I go, so he doesn't know where my Vox Mutatis people in town.
He's actually not encountered any of them yet in town, but he says he is, well, he does kind of give an indication that he's quite new to Freeport.
Okay. I go, what else can I ask him? I go, he doesn't seem to have any allies in town. What else can we ask about him?
What do you know of the Sea Elves?
Sea elves. I have never met or encountered a sea elf before, but I would assume all elves are of generally peaceful, good-natured.
These ones are kind of like shark elves.
They sound like not elves, perhaps. No elf I know associates themselves with sharks.
Does your arch nemesis Vox Mutatis people, do they deal with like sea monsters?
Do they deal with sea monsters?
Because they attacked that ship for something like an
As
hour
far
ago.
as I know, the Vox Mutatis serve Hester, the great old one Hester. And Hester is not of water, he is of air. The air element.
But isn't there like code name like the voice of change? When they change or mutate people or sea elves?
Perhaps you would know more than I do since you have fought these creatures and their followers before.
I don't like this guy, he doesn't know much.
Well, he's not meant to know much, but he only knows as much as you let him know and as much as he finds out throughout the adventure. So currently he's behind you guys in terms of what he's figured out. Sorry, question. Did you ever mention the King in Yellow to
Not yet.
Eric? Okay.
What?
But I was thinking about it.
Did I?
No.
No.
No, you haven't. You've mentioned it at the asylum when he was not there.
Yeah.
You've mentioned it, I want to say at the inn at some point. The
I've
lucky
been
coin.
thinking, do I talk about
Yeah.
that? What do you wanna? Do you wanna? You know what? Nah, actually, no point. I don't feel like really lying to this person. Or I go. How strong is this? Is like this? I don't know. Does the Vox Mutatis guys or Golden Dawn? Do they wear yellow robes?
He says, again, I've never encountered them before, but I believe that they wear all sorts of disguises. They are known to be masters of deception. The person you least expect could be a member of this cult. Again, they are a cruel group intent on seeing the return of Hester himself. You may sense motive.
When he said that, was he being tongue in cheek? 26.
He was being quite truthful.
Okay.
Where are you staying in town?
He gives you the name of a generic inn that you are aware of.
The generic inn.
No, well, okay, we'll say he's staying at.
Generic inn.
Actually,
Good name,
There
though.
was a list of inns in that Freeport bio I wrote.
Oh, was that list? Okay, one of those inns in the Freeport bio that he wrote.
Generic
Well, the thing is,
inn.
I didn't read the Freeport bio.
You wrote a bio on Freeport?
Yeah. Well, you can
That's
develop the city.
amazing.
That's amazing.
When you're super king,
Holy
you're super
shit,
king.
there's pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a look.
Look, that's the port. Look,
So-
that's where he got the name of the boat.
So,
It's in the
major
picture.
inns: Horizon Hotel, Silver Oaks, the Jolly Starboard, and Thunder Brews Rest.
As the lucky coin.
Thunder Brews Rest. That is where he is,
We
which
can add
is.
the lucky coin now.
He says, if that is all, I would implore you that if you do find information on the Hourglass, please do not hesitate to contact me. It is of utmost importance that I retrieve this artifact for my order before it falls into the wrong hands.
We will do what we
You
can.
take a look if you want.
to assist you.
There's even
In the
one for
meantime,
North
I
City.
thank you for allowing me access to this private section of the library. I will go about trying to find out information upon these new artifacts that you've mentioned, as well as the Hourglass.
Good luck.
Meanwhile, the Count and Urbag, what do you wish to research on or look up?
Apparently he's looking at an atlas now.
Can I research dwarven mechanical arts? If there is such.
Do we think it was dwarven?
Yes.
He
Yes.
thought that it was of dwarven make.
Art, magical dwarven.
How does dwarven make it is magical, but can't be detected as magical? It's and acts like a normal heart.
So it's such a specific thing.
Yes.
Also, here's the original.
Do you have Knowledge Arcana?
So much.
You may roll Knowledge Arcana.
Yeah, you did
We'll
one
teach you.
28. Alright. You find a couple of texts referring to mechanical hearts. People have tried to experiment to create things, but never one that melds organic with inorganic. So mechanical as in a robot, a golem, or something like that. However, just as you're about to kind of give up, you find reference to a specific artifact called the Clockwork Heart. This artifact, you find, is said to give immortality to someone who has their heart replaced with it. So full immortality. They will not age, and they will not get diseases or die from diseases. However, you can still kind of decapitate them or stab them or remove the heart. So
It just prevents aging.
yeah, prevents aging and death from diseases.
That was so important about Jonah Kensington.
I guess we'll never know.
What if he was the experiment?
You know that this is a unique heart, so it's not something that's been mass produced. You know that it is magical. However, you gather from the information you've read, it has been created to not detect as magical. Okay.
Does it say anything about the creator?
It doesn't actually. It mentions some dwarven wizards or magical users many hundreds of years ago. However, it does not specify a creator. There are theories that the inspiration for the heart was of something divine, a god of some sort, perhaps. However, nothing is actually specified about that. So that is all you can find out about the Clockwork Heart.
All right.
Mhm.
Can I research anything on the great sea captain Jonah Kensington?
You can. I won't bother rolling. There are no real information on the family name Kensington.
The first of his name.
The first of his name. What does Urbag wish to look up if he has any questions whatsoever?
Mythology relating to people wanting to stay immortal.
Oh, you find many mythologies about that. Not that difficult. Everything from vampirism to lichdom. So
Specifically
undeath.
through
Artifacts.
You even find
There's a
very.
lot still.
Actually, roll a religion check.
knowledge religion. Let's see what that is. It is like everything. Roll is 13.
13. Unfortunately, you
Fortunately,
only find that immortality through mechanical means usually has not worked. It is pretty much one of those failed avenues of trying to find immortality. So in this world, people prefer using magical means to extend their life rather than mechanical.
Can I search for master tinkerers?
Master tinkerers,
Or, something.
someone who would know how to make something like this.
Mm.
You do find like
engineering.
yeah.
Yes. Do I have to roll?
Oh, you don't have to go. You do find many references to people who would have some sort of generic knowledge to this in the past, where they might attempt something like this, but no one that you know who would actually have much success in doing something like this. Like they could make a heart to power up, like I said, a mechanical being like a golem or something like that, but never one where you can put it into a human after removing its heart and it will keep that human immortal. So aside from the reference that he found, you don't know anyone who could make such a thing.
Is there any books on the history of the Dark Mistress?
Any books on the history of the Dark Mistress? Unfortunately, no. The Dark Mistress does not seem to be a ship made in Freeport itself, so it must have come from lands beyond.
When they were on the ship,
Mhm.
would they have seen, because you know how it has the name of the port?
I would say they would not have noticed it. And I think back then they didn't really write the name of the port or even fly the flag of their country unless they were military.
Or if they were trading in the port?
Could be. But I would say, no, they didn't actually notice its port of origin.
Can I find anything on
It's a
the
mystery ship.
order of Uzarkel to try and understand why they might want this out of us?
Do you have knowledge religion?
I don't think it.
Nope.
Nothing at all. Then
You're not trained in that.
I will roll something and
Beat
we'll
it.
see. You don't really find anything specific about that. You just know they follow God who opposes, like I said, who opposes Hester. They are of a knightly order. Some of them, of their higher ups, are paladins, but most of them are knights and fighter types. They do have a couple of clerics and priests, but not many. And they are generally quite rare, so you don't know where they are based, like what city. They seem to just be kind of like adventuring knights. However, yeah, like I said, you do get the impression that they are of a goodly order, so they're not out to cause trouble.
I look for
Stand up, guys.
any
Stand up, guys.
any
Honor and all that. Sorry?
I look for any reference to combining 5 artifacts.
Ooh, the Voltron artifacts.
Alright. I will let you roll a knowledge arcana or a knowledge religion, whichever is higher. If they're equal, then
They're the same.
No.
8.
8 in total.
8 in total.
You find absolutely nothing. You do find like references to how different artifacts combine and they Voltron and do something spectacular. However, none of this specific, like involving Dogma Heart. So
Okay.
that could just be just a bad roll.
I specifically look for texts that contain, using Google,
Yeah.
the hourglass,
Yes.
quotes, plus the clockwork heart, search. I'm feeling lucky.
Unfortunately, text referring to the clockwork heart has all been found by the council. You find the exact same thing that he's found, and texts regarding the hourglass have all been checked out.
We still don't know.
Yeah, you still don't know who, and at some point you will find out, or you will get your hands on the text. But right now, it is currently being checked out.
Please refine your search.
Yes.
Can I take the book that had the information on the clockwork heart?
Can you take the book? Yes, you can. Check it out.
Yeah, I want to check it out.
Yeah. You are allowed to do that.
Okay, good.
Is it just one book?
Yes. We'll just say there's just one book, rather than making
In
me
that
around
book-
about 5 books.
Is there any reference to the hourglass?
No, it only specifically deals with this particular clockwork heart.
Is there anything in reference to Hester
No,
in that book?
no reference to Hester in that book.
What about Cthulhu?
No reference to Cthulhu in that book.
So our only leads left are the old bag.
But the problem is that there's a book in this library that talks about how all 5 of these things combine.
He's just feeling bad that Urbeck rolled badly.
But my roll was
Yes,
shit.
But metagaming like that is cheating. You're assuming you've found everything you can.
Yeah, you assume you found. Urbeck knows that he's found everything. He's done the best of his
that he
ability.
could at that point in time.
Wait.
If